Welcome to a new Smart and Bunny video, and this is part 3 of how I created and grew a multi-million-dollar business. My name is Bradley Taylor, and I have been an entrepreneur for just on 20 years, investing and creating businesses. And this video is all about sharing the learnings and the journey so that hopefully others can benefit from my mistakes and as well as the lessons that I have learned. This is part 3, and what we're going to cover is how to increase sales of a business as well as make space for your leaders, and we will then finally look at focus, the power of focusing on the right things and what happens if you focus on the wrong things in business. If you want videos on finance, investing in business, please consider subscribing to this channel. So lesson number 1 around sales and just some learnings that I had in that department over many years of starting and growing the business. To share a little example is we hit a time where sales were low and it was really difficult and we were struggling. We wanted to grow and we were not getting traction with our current efforts. So one of the directors and myself got together and we created a new product and presentation. We then started a roadshow and went to various different clients in order to secure business. And you know what? It worked. We got out there with a new idea that resonated with our clients and we started to grow a new income stream. Now I want to break that down because there's several key lessons in that experience, and it took 6 to 9 months for that to take place. But at the end of it, we had hundreds of thousands of dollars coming in from this one particular new business stream, which made a real difference to our business at that stage. So what are some keys to ensure that are in place before you get out there? Number 1, you want to look at the product market fit. And what I mean by this is, does your product that you're selling fit the client's need? Because if there's a mismatch, you're going to struggle and you're just going to waste your time. You're going to get out there and see 100 clients and you won't end up selling very much at all. Or if you do sell something, it's more by accident than it is by the result of the materials and the effort that you've created. So number 1, the product market fit. Number 2 is the pitch materials themselves. So now not just the product, but how do you message the product? And this is significant. I always remember it from one of Brian Tracy's courses that I did. And he said that products have features and they have benefits. Now, features' role is to create interest with a client. And if you say, this particular product has X, Y, and Z, that's going to make a client interested, but it's not going to convert any sales. Whereas if you then take the interest and you start to direct it to the benefit, for example, this product has artificial intelligence in it, and the benefit is that you can grow your revenue. Now you see, we've told them not only something interesting in order to hook their attention and draw them into the conversation, but we've also shared the benefit of those features to them, and benefits sell products. Clients ultimately want to buy a benefit. They want to solve some problem or they want to grow some opportunity, and that is what our role as businesses is to do for them. Okay, so now what is another tip? Well, it is a good idea just to check from time to time your salespeople. And what do I mean by that? I mean, look at them and think about them. Do they naturally call clients, or do you have to force them to? If you're forcing your salespeople to call clients, then they're not really salespeople. They're in the wrong place. They might be great people and they might be people you need in your business, but they're not great salespeople. Great salespeople want to talk to clients. They just want to phone them all the time. They want to spend time with the clients. These days, video conferencing. So just take a look and see what are the habits and the behavior of your salespeople, because that is going to tell you, are they really a salesperson or not? Now, if they are, and they're still struggling, well then perhaps they just need a little bit of training. They need to understand a few concepts around selling, and perhaps even look towards specific courses that you can give them. That will enhance their natural tendency towards being with clients and make it more productive, and their ability to convert is going to increase. So now that we've covered those tips briefly on sales, what is the next thing to do? The next thing with sales is to ensure you measure and monitor it, and this is vital. If you measure pitch materials A achieve the following result and pitch materials B achieve the following result, you're able to contrast and see which ones generate more interest and more leads, which ones generate more conversions. If you're in a type of business where you make hundreds of sales, this is very valuable. If you're in a business that just makes 1 or 2 sales a year, this is clearly not going to work for you. But if you're getting a high volume of sales, a few hundred of them a year, or even 100 a year, evaluate your pitch materials. change the messaging deliberately. See which one draws the client in. See which one gets most questions, the most interaction, and clients sharing their problems with you. Ultimately, the goal of an initial sales call is to get the client to share their problems with you. You're then able to go away, look at your portfolio, and find out how you can use it to solve those problems, and then have conversation number 2. So now that you have this in place, get out there, measure it, and optimize yourself towards sales success. This worked really well for us. We generated a new income stream. We repeated this process several times with different products and continued to have success. So it is a model that works, and I've seen it work not only in that business but ever since in many other businesses. I've also seen many businesses fail in sales where they don't employ any sort of measurement, any sort of rewarding, and any sort of monitoring of sales, where the salespeople themselves don't naturally call, and where the materials don't answer a client problem but rather just speak about their own features of their products. So be alert for that. It is a common trap, and if you solve it, you're going to improve your sales. If you're finding this useful, please remember to hit the like button, as that will help the channel out. We're now going to look at 2 more learnings that I had from running and growing this business, and that is about how to find and create a space for your seniors, as well as the importance of focus and what to watch out for. Now, finding a space for your seniors is critical. I mention this in this way because a senior person comes into a company with a specific motivation, and that motivation is because they want to run something, they want to be in charge of something. You don't become a senior person without wanting to have a domain. When you want to be a part of someone else's domain, you're actually a junior or a mid-level person. The moment you want to own your own space and be responsible for it, you're a senior. So I'm assuming senior person in your business is looking for that. Now, when they're looking for that and you're not providing it, like I made the mistake of not providing my seniors with distinct areas of responsibility and roles, you end up with conflict. You end up with them fighting with each other. You end up with them trying to compete and beat each other in sales and all sorts of strange things. And you don't function cohesively as a single leadership team. You're struggling against each other. So the secret and the key to this is to ensure that you separate out each person's domain of responsibility, clarify what their roles are and their responsibilities. Now, it is not good enough just to say to 2 people, hey, here's a particular area, you work it out amongst yourselves, and however you divide the land, that's fine. That's your role and your responsibility. I'm telling you now, and I've seen this, it does not work. I've seen it so many times, it doesn't work. The best practice by large consultancies is to ensure that each person understands exactly the boundaries of their operation, understands exactly their role and their responsibilities, how they judge their success, and how they will be rewarded. If you put that in place with senior people, you're going to ensure that they have a productive space where they can bring success to your business. So if you see your culture becoming toxic, this is a good one to check, because often it is the result of too much overlap and not enough ability of seniors to have responsibility for their own thing. Now, lesson number 3 from this part 3 is focus. And what happens when you focus on the right things and the wrong things? Well, we in GlobalEDGE we had more than 2 products, but I'm thinking of 2 specific products right now. One of them was quite successful, and in all honesty, we should have put a lot more effort behind it. Another, we could see the potential, but no matter how much effort and energy we put into it, it just didn't succeed. Now, here's the lesson and the learning. We were focusing on both of them and doing them each half as well. What we should have done is we should have taken the resources that we had allocated to the product which just was not succeeding, and we should have moved it to the product which was succeeding. It is so easy to say that in hindsight. I almost want to hit myself and go, you silly person, Brad. What were you thinking? Why didn't you cut your losses on that product and the investments made and just shift the resources to other areas and amplified your success? So it is easy to see in hindsight, but I hope that this video stirs you up to take a moment and review your efforts. Review them through the lens, and this is the trick I learned, of a business case. Ensure that for every single initiative in the business, as long as it's of a reasonable size. I mean, if it's something like, hey, we've got an initiative to go to the beach and clean up litter as community service, fine. You don't need a business case for that. But for every significant venture that you're going into the business, for every single product, there needs to be a business case. You need to understand how much you're spending and what do you expect to get back, along with milestones. And those milestones are essential. It helps you to track and see, is this progressing according to expectations or not? Because if it's not, why? That is the question. Why are we missing the target? Why are we missing this milestone? Is it some sort of internal problem, or is it an external market problem? If it is a milestone on sales, that is significant. You need to really look at that one, because actually there is a tendency of people to overestimate sales simply to create the budget to the right level that you as the leader is asking for. And not only do we have the investment going into it, but there is the opportunity cost. As I mentioned in my example with our 2 products, the one product that was failing didn't just cost us money, it cost us the people's time, morale, energy, and effort. And that is a huge opportunity cost. If we had have taken those 5 people and deployed them onto the other product, those 5 people would have been more energized, more productive, generated a greater ROI, and we wouldn't have lost the opportunity. So there's always an opportunity cost and a financial cost to everything that's done in business. When you say yes to one thing, you're saying no to another. Being conscious of that is vital. And so that's why focus is so important. It is about consciously knowing what are we focusing on, because that will determine, are we able to increase our success, or are we just focusing on things which the more we do, the more we get nothing back. So I hope this video has been helpful and thought-provoking. I'm trying to deliberately challenge thinking and challenge towards good thinking. Please leave a comment down below if you are enjoying these videos. Leave a comment about thoughts you have on business or videos you'd like to see. I'd love to hear them, and I'd love to be more interactive in these, that it's not just one way. So let me know. Be sure to check out part 1, which has a significant portion on creating a competitive advantage, and part 2, the valley, some mistakes that I made in my leadership and things that I messed up that I shouldn't have. So please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and share this video with someone, because together we can create an abundance.